What if I told you that someone could admit to a crime they never committed, under intense pressure, in a room full of police, with no evidence against them? How is it possible for innocent people to confess to something they didn't do? Could they really be forced to admit to crimes they didn't commit? In this video, we'll dive deep into the twisted psychology behind false confessions and uncover the shocking truth. False confessions happen when someone admits to a crime they didn't commit, often under intense pressure. Even when there's no evidence or clear motive, innocent people can fall victim to this disturbing phenomenon. The reasons behind false confessions are complex. Fear, exhaustion, confusion, or manipulation can all play a role. Coercive tactics like isolation and intimidation, combined with psychological manipulation, can convince someone they are guilty. Did you know that research shows over 25% of wrongful convictions in the US involve false confessions? This statistic is both shocking and unsettling, highlighting the disturbing reality that many innocent people are trapped in the justice system due to confessions they never should have made. One of the most infamous cases is that of the Central Park Five. In 1989, 5 teenage boys were wrongfully convicted of the brutal assault and rape of a jogger in New York City. Despite having no physical evidence connecting them to the crime, all 5 teens confessed, but these confessions were later revealed to be coerced. Years later, the true perpetrator confessed, and the convictions were overturned. In another case, the Norfolk Four were convicted of rape and murder based on confessions obtained through aggressive interrogation tactics. Despite no evidence linking them to the crime, their false confessions led to convictions that were only overturned years later. These cases are just the tip of the iceberg. Across the US, many wrongful convictions have been linked to false confessions. A staggering number of innocent people have served years, sometimes decades, in prison because they were manipulated into confessing to crimes they didn't commit. It's a terrifying reminder of how powerful the psychological tactics used in interrogations can be, and how easily an innocent person can be coerced into admitting guilt. A false confession occurs when someone admits to a crime they didn't commit. What's disturbing is how this happens. False confessions are often driven by fear, confusion, or manipulation, rather than guilt or lies. Suspects can be pressured during long interrogations, where tactics like threats, promises of lighter sentences, or intense emotional manipulation can make someone believe confessing is their only way out, even if they're innocent. Take Brendan Dassey, who was coerced into confessing to a crime he didn't commit after hours of questioning without legal counsel. His confession was full of contradictions. These examples show how easily innocent people can be manipulated into confessing to crimes they didn't commit. False confessions are often the result of intense coercion and manipulation by law enforcement. Tactics such as isolation, fear, and promises of leniency are designed to break down a person's resistance. In an interrogation room, the suspect is often left alone for hours, without food or rest, increasing feelings of anxiety and vulnerability. The pressure to end the distressing experience can lead someone to confess, even if they're innocent. Another key factor is the power of suggestion. Law enforcement may use leading questions, implied threats, or fabricated evidence to push a suspect into believing they are guilty. For example, a detective might say, "We already know you did it. Just tell us why." These tactics can make the suspect feel that confessing is their only option, especially when they're presented with false evidence. such as fingerprints or DNA that doesn't exist. Additionally, the psychological state of the suspect plays a crucial role. Stress, exhaustion, or even mental illness can make a person more vulnerable to giving into pressure. For instance, someone suffering from anxiety or depression may feel overwhelmed and unable to think clearly during intense interrogation sessions. After hours of questioning, with no sleep or food, their ability to make rational decisions diminishes, increasing the likelihood of a false confession. Consider the case of Christopher Abernathy, who falsely confessed to a crime after hours of relentless questioning. Exhausted and mentally worn down, he gave in and admitted to a crime he had no part in. His confession, like many others, was a product of manipulation and psychological pressure, not guilt. These psychological factors show how even the most innocent can fall victim to false confessions. The Innocence Project plays a crucial role in revealing false confessions and overturning wrongful convictions. This nonprofit organization is dedicated to helping individuals who have been wrongfully convicted of crimes they didn't commit, often by uncovering new evidence, re-examining old evidence, or exposing false confessions. In the last few decades, hundreds of wrongfully convicted individuals have been exonerated, many of them due to false confessions. These confessions, coerced through pressure or manipulation, led to years, sometimes decades, of wrongful imprisonment. The Innocence Project has been instrumental in using DNA testing to prove innocence and expose flaws in the justice system. Since its inception, the Innocence Project has helped free over 375 people in the U.S. who were wrongfully convicted, with a significant number of these cases involving false confessions. Their work not only helps free innocent people, but also brings awareness to the critical issue of coerced confessions and the need for reform in interrogation practices. The release ceremonies for these individuals are emotional, as they walk free after years of being unjustly imprisoned. It's a powerful reminder of how false confessions can ruin lives, and how organizations like the Innocence Project are working to set things right. One of the main reasons false confessions happen is the lack of legal protections. Often, suspects are denied access to legal counsel during interrogations, which leaves them vulnerable to coercion. Without an attorney present, individuals may not understand their rights or the full implications of their confession. Another factor is the role of the media. In high-profile cases, media coverage and public pressure can heavily influence the direction of an investigation. Sometimes, the public's demand for a quick resolution can cause law enforcement to rush to judgment, leading them to manipulate or coerce confessions from innocent suspects. This external pressure, combined with the intense scrutiny of the case, can push individuals into falsely confessing to ease the pressure or avoid the media spotlight. The justice system is meant to protect the innocent, but without proper safeguards in place, innocent people can easily be caught in a web of false confessions, manipulated by both the system and the media. The emotional and psychological damage caused by false confessions can be devastating. Individuals who confess to crimes they didn't commit often carry a heavy burden of guilt and shame, even after being exonerated. The trauma of years spent in prison, the constant stigma of being labeled a criminal, and the harsh realization that they were manipulated by the justice system can lead to deep emotional scars. Many struggle with feelings of isolation, depression, and anxiety long after their release. Consider the case of Carrie Max Cook, who was wrongfully convicted of murder and spent 22 years on death row. After his exoneration, he spoke openly about the emotional toll of being falsely accused. Despite being cleared, he struggled with PTSD, a damaged sense of self-worth, and the difficulty of reintegrating into society. His case highlights how false confessions can cause long-term psychological trauma, even when the truth is eventually revealed. Think about how a single mistake or a moment of weakness can change someone's life forever. False confessions don't just steal years from innocent lives. They leave behind a trail of emotional damage that's not easily healed. Another crucial aspect is educating the public. Many people don't realize how easy it is for an innocent person to fall victim to a false confession. Awareness campaigns and training for both law enforcement and the public are essential to understanding the psychology behind false confessions. Educating society about these tactics helps protect innocent individuals from being manipulated into confessing to crimes they didn't commit. Hope for the future lies in continued reform and greater public awareness. While progress has been made, much more needs to be done. Stricter guidelines, improved interrogation techniques, and widespread education about false confessions can help ensure that innocent people are not unjustly punished. The road to change is long, but every step toward reform brings us closer to a more just system. False confessions are not just legal anomalies. They are a heartbreaking reality that affects thousands of lives every year. They destroy lives, ruin families, and undermine the integrity of our justice system. What's even more disturbing is that many of these confessions are the result of psychological manipulation and coercion, making it vital for us to recognize and address these issues. I encourage you to learn more about wrongful convictions and become an advocate for better protections in the justice system. By supporting reforms and raising awareness, we can help prevent future injustices. What are your thoughts on false confessions? Join the discussion in the comments below. Have you heard any shocking cases? Don't forget to check out our other videos on criminal psychology and justice reform. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on criminal psychology and justice reform.